All right, so let's check out the POCO M8 5G. So this one, I believe it has a starting price of around $229 for the 8 gig and 256 gig version. And again, we just did the POCO M8 Pro, so check that one out. It's about a little bit over $100 more expensive. All right, so in the box here, we do have some ejection tool and pretty much the same thing. With the Pro, we have our case that Xiaomi throws in here. And here is the phone itself. And we got just some specs on here. 45 watt charging. Snapdragon 6 Gen 3. Alright, 6.77 inch display. Let's put this back to the side. And it's always nice that Xiaomi throws in, or POCO throws in the charger in the box, and we get our Type-C to Type-C key. Alright, so let's go ahead and get this out. And this one looks very nice as well too. They're also going with that kind of carbon fiber kind of look to it, as you guys can see on the sides here. It's not textured, it just has that look. But this one looks, very similar to the M8 Pro. Very nice blue color, really like that. And this one is pretty much the same as far as the design, but it is IP65 dust and water resistant as well. They don't have this one on the, because it is different based on the region, so they don't have this one quite on the specs. But yeah, this one, it'll either be IP65 or IP66 depending on the region. Let's go ahead and get this off, and actually let's go ahead and boot this up. All right, so we got the M8 set up here, and I think one of the most impressive things about this $200 phone is it has a very good display. Like, it's actually very, very good. So it's a pretty big phone at 6.77 inches. It's an AMOLED, 120 hertz, and then it also is HDR, and then it goes up to 32 nits peak brightness. So this thing is very outdoors, just taking it out in direct sunlight and taking pictures. So that's pretty nice. The colors also look very good on here. They don't look washed out or dull. And again, it does have that same curved panel as the 8 Pro. And as far as the resolution, it's basically 1080p plus display. It's 388 for the PPI, but everything still looks great. It looks sharp. And I don't have any issue. I don't think it looks cheap at all. The punch hole looks good on here as well. And we also have, I think, a pretty good screen to body ratio for a $200 phone with 89.7% screen to body ratio. So it looks actually pretty even around the phone here. So I think the display looks actually very good. So like back in the day, the display and would be like a big sacrifice for like budget phones, but I think this is actually pretty impressive. All right, so this phone does have Android 15. We get 4 years of MageOS updates. It's running, of course, Hyper OS. And then on here we have the Snapdragon 6 Gen 3. We have microSD card support, 256 gigs of internal storage, and 8 gigs of RAM. I believe this one is the 8 gigabyte of RAM version. Yeah, it's the 8 gigabyte of RAM version. I think the phone is very smooth. Like, it is incredibly smooth for a budget phone. Yeah, that used to be like, I think, one of the biggest issues with it. Now, over time, we'll see. Like, we'll see how performance goes, because that's the kind of like one of the biggest issues with budget phones is that you'll use it and then it'll start to like randomly start slowing down after a year or something like that. Once people start loading stuff on here, but because this phone has a good amount of RAM, it should be able to handle applications and notifications just fine, in my opinion. So I have a lot of faith that this will actually remain smooth. But for right now, it's smooth. It gets into applications. The Hyper OS animations look very good on here. Just doing basic stuff on your phone seems to be perfectly fine on here. All right, guys, when it comes to performance, when it comes to games like playing PUBG, we can play still at 60 frames. It's still pretty smooth with this processor. So yeah, you're not gonna get like the crazy, frame rates, 120 or 90 frames, but we're not getting any overheating because we have such a massive battery on here. We're not getting to the point where it's like draining. So this is a perfectly fine phone for gaming. Again, if you want like 90, 120 frames, you're gonna get an older flagship. But I think this is perfectly fine for casual gaming. PUBG, Call of Duty Mobile, I think is going to, you know, run perfectly fine on here. So if you do want to get some gaming in, playing emulators and stuff, I mean, as you guys can see, it's super smooth here. So I don't have an issue with the performance at all. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is smooth. It definitely feels like 60. As far as your AI features go, you will see AI kind of sprinkled throughout the system here. You have your standard AI stuff like the circle to search is here. We also do have our Gemini on here as well. Very advanced, you know, assistant that works really well. So something that I really like. Also, you'll notice like AI stuff kind of sprinkled throughout the Xiaomi apps or HyperOS apps. So you'll see like AI kind of integrated throughout the apps a lot. And also, this phone does have an infrared port. So I think that's like an actual bonus for such a cheap phone. The infrared port is extremely slept on, guys. Like having a universal remote controller for all of your stuff in the house is pretty cool. So your monitors and TVs, and if you have a smart box, fans, you can see all the stuff listed here. It's actually a very cool feature that I wish more companies would actually use. It's like, I think Xiaomi's like the only company I can think of that actually puts these in their phones, which is, I really like it. Also, we can check out the fingerprint scanner. I can talk about that. It feels pretty similar to the Pro. It doesn't feel significantly slower at all. It literally feels like the same one. Let's check out these speakers at max volume. So this one sounds okay. It definitely does sound like kind of like more of a budget phone in the speaker department. It is lacking quite a bit of bass. I can kind of barely hear the 808s. Yeah, you can barely hear the 808s. As far as loudness, it's decently loud. It's not really that loud. So I would say the speakers they're okay. They're not really that impressive. It kind of is more on the budget side for sure when it comes to this department. But definitely not, you know, terrible. It doesn't sound like it's distorting or anything like that. It's just kind of, you know, just okay speakers. I don't think it would impress, you know, really anyone. Now the camera setup is very, very basic. So it has a 50 megapixel standard. There's no ultra wide. It has a depth sensor, and that's pretty much it. So it's basically just, you know, one camera. You can go up to 10 times max zoom here. And basically the photos are okay. They're not, you know, horrible. We do have on this camera setup, we have 4K 30 video, and then we have a 20 megapixel selfie that shoots in 1080-60. The image quality it's okay. Some of the shots I think come out a little bit kind of strange with the colors. Sometimes they could be a little too dull or a little too like over sharpened. Yeah, it just is okay. It's not really performing that well in low light. Sometimes the white balance can be off a little bit. Some of the shots come out like, you know, just looking like pretty decent. But yeah, I would say the cameras it's just kind of okay. The video also kind of lacks in the dynamic range department. It's not like super, you know, clean looking video. But for the most part, I would say it's very average when it comes to like the cameras, depending on the shot and how much light you give it. So yeah, so I think just the overall camera setup is just okay. It lacking the ultra wide is kind of strange that they left that out, but I get it because it does have a lot of other features that a lot of $200 phones do not have. So I'm very impressed with the battery life on here. You could easily get over 6 hours of screen on time with this phone. Very easily. It's a 5,520 milliamp hour battery, 45 watt charging with 18 watt reverse wired charging. There's no like wireless charging on here, and they actually do give you the charger in the box, which is, you know, a great thing. I would say in general the phone is fantastic. I think for $200, obviously the weakest spot of the phone is really the cameras. The hardware, I think the design looks great. It doesn't look like a cheap phone, even though it's a it's an all plastic phone. It has a pretty solid screen, very good chipset on here. It's not overheating, it's not lagging when I'm just trying to do basic things, and the speakers are decent on here. I just think it's an overall solid phone. I really like that it has a great screen and an infrared port and SD card support. I think that is really cool. So what do you guys think of the M8?